And I suppose also just remember that getting that knowledge from AI does not make you the expert. So in this next chapter, we're going to talk about our experience of implementing AI. Well, if we ask AI a question, it gives us answers. But what's the catch?
Well, I mean, we're in quite a brilliant piece of the world history at the moment, which is knowledge is there for us. And I mean, we've had Google and the internet, but what AI does with a bit of human language, it can give you your question, understand it, and give you an answer. And it almost always gives you an answer. Maybe it gives you some questions as well. And that's really, well, you can see it in two ways. You could see it as a massive equalizer, which is for everyone, the knowledge is there. But for me, I think you can lose your differentiation, which is what makes you the expert on something. And that goes into the next bit, which is, okay, well, if you have the knowledge, the real difference between you as an expert and the next person is the ability to apply that knowledge and use that knowledge and be able to take what the AI says and go through a common sense check, for example, and say, yep, okay, that makes sense. We can go on to the next thing. Because the dangers at the moment of there being so much content out there, so many answers to so many questions, maybe they're not always exactly what you need, but it's there and that's what it thinks you need, so it's giving you it. So I think it's important to have that common sense approach.
And I suppose also just remember that getting that knowledge from AI does not make you the expert.
Yes, which is a difficult concept, really. And really, if you think about learning, and if someone gives me an answer, you can give me an answer to something today. If I don't have the understanding around it, then someone asks me the same question tomorrow. I can give them maybe the answer, 2 + 2 = 4, but I can't tell them how I got there. I can't give them the workings out because really, I've not learnt it at all. I've just been given the answer.
And I guess under the mantra of probably approximately correct, you need some knowledge or skill or expertise to actually understand whether the answer you got is correct.
That's exactly it. Yeah, it's a really challenging one, and I mean, it doesn't take away from the power of AI and the power of the technology that we have at our fingertips, answers for everything we could possibly think of. But I think there is just that approach of the human approach. Yes, you need to know where you're an expert. You need to know what you understand and what you can apply.
Are you concerned at all that AI will cause humanity to lose skills in certain areas?
I think that can genuinely be the case. I think you could see it as well if we go back to, well, the best case of learning is schools. And if you have homework to go and understand a concept in history and you ask AI and it gives you an essay, you probably have 20 kids in the class, all with different versions written by AI of what the homework was. And does that mean they've understood it? Nope. Does that mean they're learning from each other, learning from their own experiences, applying anything to do with themselves into what they're doing? Nope, you lose all of that. And I think that's a real danger.
Good answer, Will. Very interesting. I think there's lots of topics there in terms of social science and anthropology that we shouldn't go into today. In terms of business and looking at our business, how would you say AI is being applied now, and what benefits do you think it's bringing?
Well, I think there's we have the bits that we are experts on, and that's what we do as a business. That's what we do well, and we always try and apply around those to sort of assist users rather than be any sort of replacement. That's absolute. So the process we really went through was initially doing business development meetings with the management team, working through what priorities, what challenges have we got, and working on, okay, well, if we've got these things that maybe we could apply technology to, let's get them all down. What are our options? And then from there, we just took some of the smaller ones, the ones that still give benefit, but the ones we can turn around pretty quickly. And because of some of the technical natures, we worked with the developers firstly, and it was really quite insightful to say, okay, well, we've got a couple of these challenges around documentation or knowledge or something like this, and we can sit in a room and just talk about it, and then work through, okay, well, we could apply it here, we could apply it here, and we get to see very quickly what works, what doesn't, and where can it assist us, and where does it almost take us away from what we need to do.
Yeah. So we started in the development arena within our business, but our business, like any others, we've got finance, sales and marketing, HR. We sell services. We deliver products. Why did we start in development, and why was it beneficial to start there, or was it just the first one that we chose?
I think we had a bit of a opportunity in development, but it could have been any department. Okay. And even though we're working primarily on the development side to assist them, there is also some other areas in project management, for example, that we're working on, because it's almost when you've got something that can give a benefit very quickly. In this case, it's like going from transcripts to meeting outputs and agendas and generation of that. So when you have something like that that's very, very small, very specific, and you can get it up and running very quickly, you can almost set someone else to go and have a look at that whilst working on with the developers as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think for us as a business, it's important to, with AI, not just to look at how can we make our lives easier, but how can we make our customers' lives better?
Yeah.
And I think in terms of delivering projects more efficiently, we can certainly use AI to bring benefits there. What about the customer service environment?
Yeah, so customer service as well is an area we've looked into, and we're working through a Jira implementation at the moment. But alongside that, we're working on knowledge bases and building up a clear, absolute picture of different customers. And so this means that if someone comes in and maybe they're new to Tegos, but they're working on a customer, they can have all of the information they need to go and help that person, that process. And I think it's important as well, coming back to the point before, that we are doing this internally, yes, with project management, and not everyone's a service-based company. But the important thing is we're taking the processes that we know and we're applying technology to help us move forward, transform, if you will. And once we've done this, we can again take this to our customers as well, with the customer zero approach of, this has worked for us. It might be that your processes are different. We might be looking at a weighbridge and not a project management team, but the same thing can apply. It's finding where you've got those opportunities or challenges and working with technology to bring them forward and close those gaps.
Is there a danger that we spend too much time talking about it and not enough time doing it? And I'd refer back to, start simple, choose some small opportunities, let's say.
I'd say absolutely. I'd even say, we've spoken about this for many years, and we've had a couple of iterations of this sort of process. And sometimes we can get stuck in the planning of, okay, we could do so much, we could do this, we could start a project here. And then when you get down to it, when you start going down that path, I guess, with innovation and planning and projects and budgets, it is a blocker, not an enabler. But when you can find, and I think AI is really helping with this, those smaller specific areas, then you can just say, right, I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I can do it by myself. So I don't need to go through all of the levels of approval and budget.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, the barrier to entry is really very low now, isn't it? Yeah. Especially with tools like Nunc, which we'll talk about later. I think there's, really great opportunities for our customers and for the industry to really engage with AI without having to spend millions and millions. Yeah,
absolutely. And Nunc is a good point. And that's an area that's really let me get more into the space of actually implementing. Because I spent a lot of time with Copilot and workflow tools like NHN, and I developed agents for our customer support people, as you mentioned earlier. But in the end, I actually did go with Nunc because it was so easy to have everyone have the same assistant, same agent, and be able to feed into the same place. And it was a real central point, and it's now a very central solution for Tegos as a company.
Yeah, and for the people in charge of IT and governance and security and control and all of that, it makes them very comfortable, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. So I mean, for our IT, I think Nunc is a dream because if Nunc wasn't there, then people would be going off into browsers and using various, you might say AI models, you might even say just tools and giving it data, maybe decisions. Don't want to speak for anyone. But no. it gives them the opportunity. But with Nunc, it puts that umbrella over it and says, well, yeah, you can use it and it's easy to use. But if you use our tool, then at least it's secure.
Yeah, I think if you're using some of those, those free tools out there, there is that risk that your sales guy loads a a sales proposal up there and says, right, tell me how I can improve this. And then suddenly you've put all of
You
that
start training it.
IP into the public domain almost, haven't you?
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. That was really interesting.
Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please check out our articles on these topics and look forward to upcoming interviews as well.